Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew. Where do I start? I've been on vacation for a little bit of time. And I just got back. And one of the things that I've discovered is what I've been saying over and over and over and over and over again when it comes to Terence Crawford. And that is that some people, let me reframe that. Majority of the people who are fans of Terence Crawford somehow, some way, find themselves having selective outrage. Yes. Let me give you an example. Let's use Timothy Bradley as a reference. Now, everybody else in the sport of boxing, everybody else who are part of the YouTube boxing media, everybody else, including boxing fans, have rendered their verdict on this, and now it's my turn. I'm talking about what's been going on for the past few days with Timothy Bradley having his excerpt referenced on X, formerly known as Twitter, where a gentleman, I think his name is Ray, a gentleman by the name of Ray, posted video coverage that Showtime Boxing's camera crew recorded of Terence Crawford wrapping his own hands in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the dressing room prior to him coming out to fight Errol Spence. Coming out meaning coming to the ring to fight Errol Spence. Terence Crawford was using tape, wrapping his actual hands with tape. In other words, Terence Crawford was using tape not to wrap the tape around the hand wraps, which is customary and legal in the sport of boxing, but he was actually using tape to basically tape his skin, which we know, according to most, if not all, sanctioning bodies in the states here, that practice is illegal. In fact, it is in the bylaws and the policies and the rules and regulations of the athletic commissions across the United States of America. Now, Terence Crawford was in that video that was referenced by Ray. However, Timothy Bradley's audio was also posted at the same time that that video was playing, where Timothy Bradley was highly criticizing in New Way for basically doing the same thing that we visibly saw Terence Crawford doing in the dressing room for the Errol Spence Jr. fight. Now, this is my issue. Before I can even get to selective outrage, before I can even get to the fact that it was illegal as a practice and a violation of the regulations of the Nevada State Athletic Commission, I must address one elephant in the room. In fact, let me tell you that the elephant in the room is an actual human being. If you noticed in that video, there was an inspector that is paid and employed by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, who was sitting next to Terence Crawford while Terence Crawford was wrapping his own hands. Do y'all see that? Did y'all see that? I just wanted to address that. I don't know if someone else addressed this before I did or not. Because, I don't watch other content creators when these type of events occur. Why? Because I do not want to be influenced by saying some of the same talking points or being in conjunction with someone else because I'm cool with them as a content creator. So that's why I wait until everybody else shoot their load out first, and then I come and give my verdict so that I will not be influenced to agree or disagree with somebody else. I like to have my own independent way of thinking. That's personally and professionally. Now, there was a representative of the athletic commission standing. Well, he was sitting, but I'm saying standing right there, meaning he was sitting right there. He was sitting right there when Terence Crawford was basically applying tape on his bare skin. I didn't see him reprimand Terence Crawford. Did you? Okay, I wanted to address that first. Now, let's get to Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley basically came out on X, formerly known as Twitter, and he basically was criticizing the gentleman Ray, because Ray was the one that placed the audio of what Timothy Bradley said about Inouye on top of the video about Terence Crawford. And my thing about this with Tim Bradley is you can't have selective outrage, Tim Bradley. My thing with Terence Crawford fans, and I've been saying this on record, live and in published content, time and time again, you cannot have selective outrage when it comes to Terence Crawford. If it wasn't good for Inouye to do it, then it's not good for Terence Crawford to do it. And when you see that your favorite fighter is violating the actual rules and regulations of an athletic commission, if you're going to speak out about something publicly, you have to speak out about that as well. You cannot have selective outrage. Now, with that being said, before the gentleman Ray posted this video, I didn't hear Timothy Bradley speak on none of that. I didn't. Now, I did hear him publicly say, I told y'all. This is what he said after the fight. I told y'all Crawford was going to win. What'd I tell y'all? But he didn't say anything about that part, the violation, the tape being put on the skin of Terence Crawford by Terence Crawford himself. And the reason why I'm saying that is because he publicly, and everybody heard him on a national broadcast, he publicly criticized Inouye for doing the same thing that Crawford did. So my thing is this. If you're going to speak out about an injustice, it don't make no difference if that's your favorite fighter or not. You want to be an advocate for something? You want to be a boxing activist? Then you got to speak truth to everything that occurs that is not right or that is unjust. And we saw the results in that fight between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. Now, according to Tim Bradley, he said that practice, the putting the tape on the skin directly opposed to the hand wraps, first, can actually impact a fighter. In other words, is the fighter who's getting punched in the face is going to feel more of an impact. That's what Tim Bradley was basically alluding to when he was referring to Inouye. But we've seen the impact that Errol Spence Jr. had to suffer from, and it might have something to do with the way Terence Crawford wrapped his hands, amongst other things that you all heard me publicly speak on. And so I just wanted to give that some credence. what Timothy Bradley said. He is a Hall of Fame boxer. So we have to give him credence. We have to take his words at face value and believe him when he talks about the impact that a fighter can suffer from based on the way that their hands are improperly wrapped. Okay? So we have to really give him credit, all right? And take his words for it. And the thing is that when I look at this whole scenario, I just get a little annoyed because people pick and choose when they want to stand up for justice and when they want to sit down. And I get annoyed by that because of the selective outrage.